I'd like to call this meeting of the Westland City Council to order, please. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, tonight led by Dominic Spates, Carter Cavalar, and Annabelle Donovan, fourth grade students from Hicks Elementary.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Ready? Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you'll stay right there, Councilman Landau will be right down to talk to you.
But who?
Nice catch.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for coming to Westland City Hall tonight and for citing the Pledge of Allegiance for us tonight. I'll have Annabelle come over here. We're going to start with ladies first. Everyone say hello to Annabelle. Annabelle started... Oh, okay. Annabelle started her career at Hicks Elementary. She is a Hicks Hornet to this day and is a rock star student in Mr. Furka's class, fourth grade class, excuse me. Annabelle has been awarded Student of the Month, but she's been nominated several times, haven't you? She excels in all subjects, but writing and math are her favorites. Now, I got a question. I know a lot of people are going to want to know this answer. Can you help us with the Common Core math?
Yes.
Whoa.
We're going to take you up on that because when I have to help out my niece and nephew with Common Core, I don't understand it, so I'll be taking you up on that. Her favorite special is art. She likes to draw and sketch. Not sure if you saw our wonderful art gallery out there. If you haven't, you'll have to take a look at the art gallery out front. Maybe someday we'll have some art on display from Annabelle Donovan. While at home, she likes to play on her laptop and follow her data on her Fitbit. She likes to read. Her favorite book is Because of Winn-Dixie. She loves to play with her animals, her extremely old cat, Mitzi, and her dog, Jackson. Now, I got to ask you, how old is your extremely old cat? Like, what do you consider old?
She's like 85.
85.
85. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better. Okay. Her family consists of her mom, Angela, her dad, Ryan, and her sister, Riley. Annabelle, we want to thank you on behalf of the mayor and his administration and the Westland City Council for saying the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a certificate for you. Hold on to that. All right. We're going to bring up Dominic Spates next. Dominic started school at the Gauger Academy, but then came to Hicks and is in the first grade, came to Hicks in the first grade. This year, he's a fourth grader, also in Mr. Furka's class. Dominic has had a terrific school year this year. He's continued to make positive choices and has shown a lot of improvement. Dominic is a stellar athlete, as you can see from his Westland Meteors jacket. For those that attend council meetings, we honored our Westland Meteors as national champions at our last city council meeting. He's a running back in football, a point guard in basketball, plus he is also a wrestler. Dominic, the team that plays in Detroit could use a running back. Can you help him out?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll have to talk to Coach Patricia and see if we can get you signed up. He enjoys playing his PS4. What kind of games do you like on your PS4?
Call of Duty, Madden 18, and Madden 17, and WWE 14.
All right. Well, those are some pretty popular games. His family also consists of his family consists of his mom, Dawn, two brothers, Nate and Joe, and one sister, Sierra. Dominic, also on behalf of the mayor and his administration and the Westland City Council, we want to present you with a certificate here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carter said he wanted to go up there to do this, but I said, unfortunately, we have to stay down here to do this. So here's Carter Cavalar. Carter spent some of his early elementary days in Wayne Westland schools, then departed to Clarkson schools for a few years. He returned to Wayne Westland Schools this year in Mr. Furka's 4th grade class at Hicks Elementary. He came into Hicks and his road was very bumpy, but he made some major changes and now is on his road to success. He truly is a Hicks hustler. He has an Xbox One that he loves to play, and he also would love to play the PlayStation 4. And I'll ask you the same thing. What are your favorite games on, well, first, what's your favorite system, Xbox or PlayStation?
Facts.
What are your favorite games?
I don't think the cops would like it. GTA 5.
That's Grand Theft Auto? Okay, I think they might play that too, just so you know. He is interested in football. He would love to one day have a kicking stand so he can learn to kick the football. Well, the Lions are in decent shape with the kicker, but we can always groom the next man up, so to speak.
Quarterback.
He said they can use a quarterback. I have to argue there. He likes to ride his bike and jump ramps. His family consists of his dad, Andrew, and his mom, Rachel, plus 2-year-old sister, Marie. How do you like having a 2-year-old sister?
I'm soon going to have gray hairs.
All right, well, his sister's here. I'll have to go ahead and bring up the family. I also have a certificate on behalf of the mayor and the Westland City Council. If I want to bring up the family and Mr. Furka and the principal, if you'd like to come up and say a few words. I get one too. All right. Oh, you want me to start? Or you want to start with the family?
Yeah.
No? What about you guys? We'll start with Mr. Furka.
We just want to thank everybody for letting us come out tonight, and we have 3 really special kids here who have earned this honor tonight in different ways, but we're proud to stand behind them, and we're proud to call them Hicks Hornets because they truly embody the school spirit that we have there. And so once again, we are appreciative of this opportunity.
I just want to say that for those of you that don't know, at Hicks Elementary School, we have a motto. And if you know that during text messages and social media today with our kiddos, a hashtag is really important. So we have a saying at Hicks, it's hashtag Hicks hustles harder. So I can truly attest as the principal, my name is Amy G. at Hicks Elementary. We have a large number of staff that I could not be any more proud of. Mr. Furka happens to be one of them. Also, Miss Mount is our speech therapist that came today. But Hicks was a school that was struggling for a long time, and we are now completely out of priority status. We are no longer a school that is struggling, and that is truly due to the success of the teachers in the classroom every single day. And I could not be any more proud of these 3 wonderful children, as well as the rest of the over 400 that we have every single day. So thank you very much, Mayor, and to all of you today for hosting us. We appreciate it sincerely for welcoming your Hicks Hustles Harder team.
Thank you, guys.
Right here. All right, everyone, on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Green. Councilman Hart. Councilman Hammonds. Councilman Hersberg. Councilman Johnson. Councilman Londo.
Here.
President Godbout.
Present.
A quorum is present.
We'll begin with the announcements and presentations. We'll start tonight with our state representative, Joel Jones.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Administration, citizens. Happy to be here. Happy to see some young people starting the meeting off. I just jotted down a few notes. I have a few updates from the office, and first and foremost as well, State Representative Bob Kozlowski says hello. I think he's at another council meeting somewhere in the district area. But just seeing that February is Black History Month, we had a few significant events going on that came down through the pipeline. The first state representative of African American descent named William Ferguson we'll be unveiling a portrait of him in the state capitol. I'm the first African American oil portrait that'll ever be posted in the state capitol. This unveiling will take place on Wednesday, February the 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. And you all can reach out for more information for any of these things I'm talking about. Additionally, the Detroit Institute of Arts is celebrating Black History Month by opening up the collection for all hours that the facility is open, plus tons of fun family drop-ins, workshops, guided tours, and demonstrations and film screenings throughout the entire month of February. Wayne, Oakland County, and Macomb County residents are entitled to free admission to the DIA. And moving on to some state agency news, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is implementing some new rules that require recipients of the food assistance programs to meet some new federal work requirements. So under these new requirements, Wayne County food assistance recipients will be required to work at least 20 hours per week. And this is just giving you all a heads up. This will take place after October 1st, 2018. But under these certain conditions, only certain people will be exempted from this 20-hour requirement, and this is only if you are in an employment training program, or if you're pursuing a GED or volunteering doing community service, or also if you are disabled and receiving Social Security, if you are pregnant or enrolled in a drug and alcohol treatment program, or if you're a parent to a child under 6 years old. Beyond that, Governor Snyder, the 2019 budget will be revealed this Wednesday at 11 o'clock a.m. So once it's revealed by the governor, we will be having responses, getting back to you all about anything that's relevant to Westland or to any of the other cities in the district, pending what he talks about in his budget. Also, we have a new state holiday. February 1st will be called Blue Star Mother's Day, and the Blue Star Mothers are the mothers of those sons and daughters who have served honorably in the nation's armed forces. And I guess to end it off, we had some bills come through last week dealing with police personnel, emergency personnel, EMS personnel. These were House Bills 4118, 4119, and then 4585, 4590, 4591. I voted no on all these bills. The concept was nice. The first two were dealing with throwing bodily fluids onto police officers, EMS personnel, or emergency personnel, whether you were an inmate or if you're a detainee. And the last two were dealing with attacks on law enforcement. If people assume that you're a law enforcement officer or emergency personnel and they attack you, these bills will create a new felony basically to charge people under this new felony. I voted no on these bills along with several of my other colleagues because as many of you, or as some of you may know, at the end of 2017, some of our colleagues on the other side of the aisle had pushed some bills across basically attacking some police and fire pensions. And so this was basically a political this was like political rhetoric, kind of get back on the good side of our police and fire personnel. And being like an auxiliary officer in Inkster and hearing some of the conversations they were having about these bills, I just didn't think that it was fitting for them to use our emergency personnel as just pawns in the political arena. So we voted no on some of these bills. But besides that, things are going okay at the state capitol. And if we can ever be of assistance for any of you, just give us a call, 517-373-0849. Thank you.
Thanks. Mary McClendon, representing Commissioner Anderson.
Good evening, Council Godbout and the remainder of the council, Mayor, the citizens of Westland, and all the dignitaries here as well. I'm here, of course, from the office of Wayne County Commissioner Glenn Anderson, and I just want to remind you that it's pothole season. I think you all know about it by now. You can't go down any road unless there's a pothole. But Wayne County is committed to safety of the motorists, and you know, the county is there to find those potholes, but of course we can't be everywhere. So if you know of potholes, you might have one by your street. We don't do the city streets, but we certainly do those county streets. But if there's a county street in your area that you know about, feel free to call and report those potholes because you can get firsthand attention. There will be a live person there to speak with you. You will not get caught up into the machines. And you can call 844-929-6311. Again, that's 844-929-6311. and there will be a person to receive your call. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So be sure to report those potholes. Also, mammograms saves lives. And the Anthony Slove Family Mobile Mammography and Health Screening Center will be at the Wayne County Health Department on Friday, February the 16th. It will be there to take care of those mammograms of those individuals who have low income, no income, or just need to get their mammogram and do have insurance. So no one will be turned away. Again, that's Friday, February the 16th, at the Wayne County Health Department, and that's at 33030 Van Born Road. And mammograms are very, very important, and sometimes there's not insurance to take care of those mammograms. So ladies, feel free to call. You do have to call to schedule the appointment. You call 844-SJP-MAMM. Again, that's 844-SJP-MAMM. And that will be your, where you can call and make an appointment for your mammogram. Also, I just want to remind you of the coffee hours. The next one will be on the 12th, okay, and that's next week. All are certainly welcome to attend. All of you, council, mayor, any of the citizens here, you're welcome to attend the coffee hours beginning at 9 o'clock. Again, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Tim?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Real quick announcement from the Rotary Club here in Westland. On March 23rd at 5:30 p.m., we will have another fundraiser, an annual fundraiser, a luau, over at Joy Manor. Residents are invited, council is invited. It's a $50 ticket, and that'll include your dinner. There'll be an open bar. We will also have a DJ, Hawaiian dancers, and also have some silent auctions that day. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, 248-914-2861. Again, that's March 23rd at 5:30 p.m., and that's going towards our general fund. Thank you.
Melissa?
Melissa DeLuca, Westland Historic Commission. Lady and gentlemen of the City Council. Come join us this Saturday, February 10th from 1 to 3 p.m. for Valentine's Tea with Mary Todd and Abraham Lincoln. Mary Todd will share with us what life has been like with Abe, and we will celebrate Abe's 209th birthday. You may have met Abe before in the local community. He looks rather dapper for a 209-year-old. Catering is being provided by Victoria's Tea, and last year it was quite tasty, or so I've been told. Tickets are $40, and that includes tea, 4 kinds of sandwiches, scones, and 3 desserts. We have a few tickets left, so bring your someone special, or just come by yourself for an afternoon of tea in our historic Octagon House. There'll be flyers out in the lobby area for anyone who'd like to pick one up. Thank you.
Thanks. Brian?
Council, thank you very much. Mayor. Brian Harnos, City of Westland Parks and Rec Director. Wanted to come about a month in and update you on what's going on and what we've done. First, start out with our art exhibit. In partnership with the Three Cities Art Club, the gallery at City Hall will be displaying an art exhibition celebrating Black History Month that started February 1st and it goes through the 28th. The gallery is a free art exhibit here at Westland City Hall and is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Many of the pieces are available for purchase, and I want to thank everyone that came out to the gala we had here on Friday, introducing the art. The artists were here, we had live music, food was brought in. It was a great event, so thank you for who made it. Our Buddy Up program, City of Westland is kicking off the 6th year of the popular, life-changing 8-week Buddy Up program, which has been part of Mayor William R. Wild's Passport to a Healthy City initiative, which started back in 2012. Program consists of health education and exercise classes held on Saturday mornings, led by Buddy Shue, a finalist from The Biggest Loser. Registration actually starts tomorrow, and the kickoff event is scheduled for March 9th at 7 p.m. at Westland City Hall. Interested participants can register on our website. Registration is limited to the first 250 paid registrants This program is open to all individuals looking to engage in a healthier lifestyle. It's a $30 program for an 8-week course. And sign up early because it does fill up every year. YMCA Day Camp. Westland Parks and Recreation is partnering with the Livonia Family YMCA for Summer Day Camp starting June 18th through August 31st. The camp will be held at the Westland Farmers and Artisans Marketplace Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Program is offered for children ages 6 to 12. With the careful guidance of trained staff, campers will learn core values that will last forever. They'll explore, play, and grow, and have an incredible amount of fun. For more information, you can go to our city's website, and that'll take you right to the ymcadetroit.org site as well to sign up. Last year, it was very successful. The numbers were a little low. We looked to double or triple that this year. It was a great event and a great use of the space here in Westland. Our hockey game is coming up. Mayor William R. Wild, alongside with his Westland Wild Wings, are once again getting ready to lace up their skates to challenge the Detroit Red Wing alumni in the 9th Annual Hockey Night in Westland's charity event. The date is Friday, March 16th at Mike Modano Ice Arena. That is located at 6210 North Wildwood in Westland. Doors open at 5:30. The game starts at 7:30. Prior to the game, around 6:15 p.m., our very own Westland Hockey Association mini mites and mites will take the ice to show their skills. So come early. The kids have a ball out there. It's a chance for them to get 800,000 people into the arena and watch them. So it is a lot of fun. Tickets for the event are $10 for adults, $5 for kids, and kids 5 and under are free. Tickets are available for purchase at the mayor's office, Mike Modano Ice Arena, and you can purchase them online at the city website as well. Hockey Night in Westland has raised over $150,000 to help fund improvements to the Mike Modano Ice Arena. Seating is limited, so please get your tickets soon. Another partnership with the Livonia YMCA. We have 2 classes that are starting in February 27th and 28th. They're going to be held at Jefferson Barnes Community Vitality Center. We have classes for 3 and 4-year-olds, 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. And the first 2 programs we're doing is going to be a basketball program and a soccer program. Met with the Wayne Westland Soccer League last week, and they're ecstatic. They've been looking for a feeder program, so we're going to be partnering with them as well to get the word out. So those classes will start at the end of February and held at Jefferson Barnes Community Vitality Center. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thanks, Brian. We'll move on to citizens' questions or input on the agenda. Citizens will be recognized before the business of the meeting commences to address the council pertaining to items that are specifically on the business agenda. Citizens are asked to limit their questions or input to 3 minutes. Is there anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Mrs. McKinney?
On the consent calendar, approval of bid for repair and rehabilitation of 2004 Elgin Street sweeper. How many sweepers do we have, and are they still outsourcing it? Because last year I saw like 3 in one street, and they were not from the city. Item E, I said that one. F is rehabilitation of 1999 Champion Road grader. How many graders do we have? Is this the only one? And sounds like it's worth saving. Approval, or G, approval of professional service related to the development and implementation of master plan for the Department of Parks and Recreation. So for $26,000, when will we get the, whatever they're gonna do with the master plan? When will that be ready, or how much time do they have for it? Item H, this is something about budget amendment, 2018-01, first and second quarter. Can you explain that better? And item J, adoption of prepared resolution recognizing Spectrum Human Services Incorporated as a local nonprofit organization. Can you explain what that's all about? And that's it.
Anyone on my left? Mr. Warren.
Yes, this is in regards to item K. I didn't know you would be here, Mr. Erskine, but the Norway Boxing Group is headed by Erskine Wade here, and he has a lot of young people there from the community, male and female, who are interested in boxing. But one of the first things that they have to do before they box and stuff, they have to keep their grades up. And Erskine has taken a lot of time to even go to schools to support the kids. And he also has even reached down, far down into the Carver subdivision. A number of my residents are also attending the boxing classes. So I think that for him to get this gaming license, to help finance it, because it costs a lot of money to take the kids to Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and wherever that he likes to take them, and they do very well in the matches. And also, they do eat a lot of my barbecue, so I think they, it's a good option.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? It's Tim.
Just a quick question on item I, if you could just explain what the change is in the minor in possession. Thank you.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Anyone else in the audience? We'll close citizens' comments and move on to the, is there a motion for the consent calendar? Motion by Councilman Councilman Hart, supported by Councilman Hersberg. There were some questions on the agenda items, on the consent calendar, on item, and I think Ramsey has a couple of those.
Mr. Council President. In regards to item E, which is the street sweeper, the city of Westland owns one street sweeper that we use on scattered site and parking lots that are owned by the city. We also use it on some streets when we have water main breaks or sewer repairs or any concrete repairs that we do. So this sweeper, we don't use to sweep the 211 miles of city streets. We have an approved vendor by the city council, I believe by the name of National Industrial Services, that we utilize those services to do the city streets, the 211 miles, about twice a year for the past few years. Under item F, which is the road grader, this is the 1999 Champion that we use on grading dirt roads in the city. We have 7 miles of roads that needs to be graded, and we grade them about 5 to 7 times a year. It depends on the season, on the rain, and all kind of factors there. This 1999 grader, which is about 20 years old, it needs overhaul, and we are repairing all the hydraulic system in it, and to put it back in service, which grading is coming soon, I believe, as soon as weather breaks. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks. Brian, if you want to handle the item G, the Parks and Rec Master Plan.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, on item G, we are asking to approve McKenna Associates for $26,000 for the master plan. They were not the low bidder by about $3,800, but based on their experience, they have done the Parks and Rec master plans years past here in Westland. The low bidder did not have the capacity, we believe, to present something professional and exactly what we need. So McKenna Associates is who we would like to work with once again, and any more questions I can answer as well.
Item I, Mr. Fasson.
Thank you, Council President, we're making changes to the Westland City Code so that the ordinance matches up with recent changes in state law on minor in possession of alcohol charges. The most significant change is that the state law made the first offense of such an MIP violation a civil infraction. The second offense then graduates up to a term of punishment not more than 30 days and a $200 fine, and the third offense, 60 days with a $500 fine. So we're matching our ordinance up with the changes in state law that became effective January 1st, 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Mr. Smith.
Through the chair, the budget amendment on tonight's agenda is an introduction for the budget amendment. It consists of 3 funds. There's the Capital Improvement Fund, the Street Lighting Fund, and the General Fund. And the purpose of the budget amendment is to bring the actual expenditures up with regards to the actual, what we've actually spent so far. And in the General Fund, just a note, the additional expenditures are all covered by revenues, either grant revenues or additional revenues we received. So there is a net effect of 0 on the fund balance for the general fund.
Thanks. And then on Spectrum Health request for the gaming license. Spectrum Health is a nonprofit organization here in Westland. They've been around since about 1976, and they provide services to a variety of people based on their need within the community. So in order to have a gaming license, it has to be approved as a nonprofit, which they are. They've submitted all the proper documentation, just like the Norwayne Boxing Club has, so that they can get a charitable gaming license with the state. There any other discussion from the council concerning the consent calendar? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion sorry, there's a little delay.
I'd
Yes,
like to make a
Councilwoman Green.
motion to, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to move item H to new business as item 1A for further discussion.
It's a motion to move item H to 1A. Is maker and supporter okay with that? Move item H to 1A. Is there any further discussion on the consent calendar? Any further discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
Council has approved the following consent calendar items. Minutes of the regular meeting held January 16, 2018. Minutes of the study session held January 29, 2018. Approval of request from Miriam Cady to conduct the annual Wayne Westland Relay for Life event in Central City Park and the Farmers Market location on June 9 and 10, 2018. Approval of request from Wayne Westland Veterans Parade Council to hold the 21st Annual Wayne Westland Veterans Parade on Sunday, May 27, 2018, starting at the John Glenn High School parking lot.
So, Wayne Ford Civic League, it's on the agenda.
Yeah,
It didn't get changed.
didn't. Thank you. That item should read, approval of request from the Wayne Westland Veterans Parade Council to hold the 21st Annual Wayne Westland Veterans Parade on Sunday, May 27, 2018, starting at the Wayne Ford Civic League parking lot, 1645 North Wayne Road, proceeding north to Ford Road, west to Central City Parkway, and ending at the Veterans Memorial Garden of Westland, where a ceremony will take place honoring our veterans. Next item, item E, approval of bid for repair and rehabilitation of the 2004 Elgin Street Sweeper. Administration recommended the sole bidder, Bell Equipment Company, in the amount of $12,877.95. Approval of bid for repair and rehabilitation of 1999 Champion Road Grader. Administration recommended the sole bidder, Alta Equipment Company in the amount of $31,020.75. Approval of bid for professional services related to the development and implementation of a master plan for the Department of Parks and Recreation. Administration recommends awarding the contract to McKenna Associates, amount not to exceed $26,000. Item H has been moved to 1A. Adoption of ordinance 179A4, an ordinance to amend the Westland City Code by amending Chapter 62, Section 62406 of the Westland City Code concerning minors in possession of alcohol. This item had been introduced January 16, 2018. Adoption of prepared resolution recognizing Spectrum Human Services Incorporated as a local nonprofit organization operating in the city of Westland in order to obtain a charitable gaming license from the state of Michigan. Last item on the consent calendar as approved, adoption of prepared resolution recognizing Norwayne Boxing Club as a local nonprofit organization operating in the city of Westland in order to operate a charitable gaming license from the state of Michigan. Moving to new business, item 1A, introduction of Budget Amendment 2018-01, first and second quarter 2017 to 2018 fiscal year.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hersberg. Is there support? Support by Councilman Landau. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Johnson. Councilwoman Green?
Thank you, Council President. The reason why I asked it to be moved is because there is almost $1 million in expenditures that we have been asked to approve tonight under line item H. And the issue that I take with it is that this, similar to past occurrences, is council was not made aware of this in advance before the vote. We just had a study session last week when we sat down with Mr. Smith and the budget director, and we were not provided this information. At the study session for the budget, there was several pieces of information that was also missing from that meeting. During the meeting, I questioned why council is not receiving information, although we are the ones who are voting on the budget. And so I would urge the budgeting department and also the administration to be more transparent with the council, especially with the decisions that we have to make as it relates to the city budget and the dire financial situation that we may find ourselves in the city of Westland if we don't make smart financial decisions. So again, I am reiterating my concern about this request having been put on or included in the packet by Council President Godbout and sent to the Budget Director, Thelma, without any information or conversation with Council, although we had a budget study session last week. And I would ask that the information is shared with more than just the Council President, because as a collective body, the 7 of us will vote on the expenses of the city, and we need to have that information to make smart business decisions, which we do not. So the question that I have that I am without an answer to, there's an expenditure for $363,000, $363,500. Can you please explain what that is?
Mr. Smith?
Yes, through the chair. That particular, the $363,000 comes from the Community Development Department. And what that is they purchase the foreclosed homes through the tax sale. In every August, they purchase a few of the homes. So when the budget's being prepared in April and May, those aren't yet available, so they are not included in the budget. Once the houses are purchased and the expenditures are known, we include that as part of the budget amendment for council at a later date. So it's too hard to tell that far ahead of time which homes will be available. So it's part of the city redevelop, the homes that are redeveloped, either, demolished or they're redone and then they're resold. So we use the proceeds to fund the program itself. So it's a net effect of 0 on the overall budget for council.
Thank you. Steve. Again, my position, especially as a new council, is that the information that we are receiving is not sufficient for council to make decisions, especially as it relates to the budget. This is becoming a common practice, and I would ask that this information, that we do not have to go to the administration separately or individually, as we've been encouraged to do, but that the administration, particularly the finance department, provides complete transparency and financial information to everyone on council in advance of these votes. Thank you.
Councilman Hart.
Yeah, just kind of tailing off of my colleague, just some clarification through the chair to Steve Smith. What this is and what we're looking at is, like you said, this is a net zero, and this is actually an actuarial process or an accounting process so that we can align our budget with some of the things we've already actualized. If you look right here, and our expenditures and our revenue, they're balanced. As you said, they're a net zero. A lot of this is accounting for a lot of grant funds that we've already received, i.e. the $125,000 for the smoke detectors. We still have to show a credit and a debit on the balance sheet, and that's what this process is for. So on the surface, yeah, it might look like we're spending $1 million that we didn't have, but really what this is we're leveraging the grant dollars we've received, and now we're just accounting for them on paper. Am I right in saying that, Steve?
Yes, to the chair, that is correct.
Okay, and the second thing, we did get this information last Wednesday in the council packet here with all of the breakdowns of the budgets. So I did interpret that, and I don't think that's changed, has it, Steve?
No, it has not.
That's all. Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the council before I go back to Councilwoman Green? Councilwoman Green.
Yes, thank you. My point in terms of my comment was that the budget session the study session that we were in, we were not provided with this information. We had Plan and Moran, the company that does the auditing for the city present. We did not have this information. They also encouraged us to make very smart and shrewd business decisions as it relates to our budget, because there is a dire financial projection that we currently have our budget within 2 years. So I just want to clarify that although these monies may be balanced as being discussed tonight, council is not receiving information to make these decisions, and the city does not have a balanced 2-year projection. It actually is a non-positive projection that we are required to work with, which is why I am asking for transparency so that we can all get on the same page and work together to make smart financial business decisions for the city, which will be coming up very shortly as we get ready to do the next budget. Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. In regards to Councilwoman Green's comments, I would just remind council that as part of our third quarter, or as part of our financial update study session that we had with City Council last week, the first part of the study session was, in fact, the audit review from Plant Moran. The second part of the study session was a third quarter update, and the third part of the study session was basically what we have on the agenda here tonight, was walking through the second quarter budget amendments. So that was clear. That was clearly laid out to City Council at the study session, and then it was also part of your packet, like Councilman Hart said on Wednesday. So I appreciate your comments, but at the same point, to make comments that the finance department is not being transparent. This was covered handedly at the study session, and it was also part of the council packet. So I'd have to defend my finance department on this one. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. I too would like to agree with the comments from the mayor and Councilman Hart. We were presented this material when we had the study session last Monday. It was in part of our packet on Wednesday, which should have provided ample time between even when we received it on Monday till now to get any clarification. It was fully transparent, and all the information was explained during the study session. So with that, I'll take a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Green. Yes. Councilman Hammonds.
Yes.
Councilman Hart.
Yes.
Councilman Hersberg.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Landau.
Yes.
President Godbout.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. New business, item 1. Confirmation of appointment of Roderick Curry to the Westland Board of Review for a 3-year term with the term to expire February 5, 2021.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Hammonds. Mayor?
Thank you, City Council. Tonight, we're asking for you to appoint Mr. Roderick Curry to the Westland Board of Review. Mr. Curry is in the audience here tonight. I believe he is currently our longest-serving commissioner in the city of Westland. Wow. He'll be stepping down as the chairperson of the LDFA, and he has proudly served as on the LDFA for 23 years, and he's been serving as chair for an incredible period of time as well. He's got 30 years' experience, and his background's in accounting and finance. He's a 25-year resident. He currently works for Health Alliance Plan. He's been with them for 20 years. He's been a great addition to the LDFA, and he'll be stepping into a very important role on the Board of Review. Thank you.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Mr. Curry, would you like to be?
New business, item 2, confirmation of appointment of Anita Murray to the Downtown Development Authority to fill an unexpired term with the term to expire November 2, 2019.
Council President.
Motion by Councilman Landau, supported by Councilman Hersberg. Mayor?
Thank you, Council. I'd like to ask you tonight to appoint Miss Anita Murray to the Downtown Development Authority. Miss Murray, too, is in the audience tonight. She's a local, very successful female entrepreneur in the city of Westland, business owner. She has owned and operated a local State Farm insurance agency that served Westland for over 15 years. And just recently, we were proud to do a ribbon cutting at her new location on South Wayne Road. And she also filled an empty vacant commercial building for us in that district. So we would proudly ask for her appointment to the Downtown Development Authority.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Ms. Murray?
New business, item 3, confirmation of appointment of Ralph Cabildo to the Downtown Development Authority for a 4-year term with the term to expire February 19, 2022.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hammonds, supported by Councilman Hersberg. Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Mr. Cabillo could not be with us here tonight. He had a previous engagement, but Ralph has been a Westland resident for 45 years. For 25 years, he has experience coaching various sports at John Glenn High School. He owns a business called RC DJ and Video Productions. He's located on Wayne Road, south of Wayne Road, just north of Cherry Hill. He's been a member of the Westland Chamber of Commerce since 2003, and if he was here tonight, you'd probably recognize him because he's been the voice of several Westland events, and most recently, the shopping $1,000 giveaway at Westland Shopping Center. He does a great job, and what you'll see is with both of these last 2 appointments to the DDA, we've made a concerted effort to try to bring in some business owners on that South Wayne Road corridor to help us balance out the board, which has a lot of Ford Road representation. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously.
New business, item 4, confirmation of reappointment of Robert Farsakian to the Local Development Finance Authority for a 4-year term with the term to expire February 5, 2022.
Motion by Councilman Hersberg. Is there supported by Councilman Landau? Mayor?
Thank you. And I don't believe Mr. Farsakian is here tonight.
Yep.
He's right here in the front row. Sorry about that. Mr. Farsakian has been serving on the LDFA board since 2002. He, too, is a business owner. You probably recognize him as the owner of Rock of Ages in Garden City. Thank you for continuing to serve the city of Westland, and he's been a Westland resident for 33 years. Thank you.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Mr. Farsakian?
New business item 5, confirmation of reappointment of David McMullen to the Local Development Finance Authority for a 4-year term with the term to expire February 5, 2022.
Is there a motion by Councilman Hersberg? Is there support? Support by Councilman Hart. Mayor?
Mr. McMullen, you want to stand and recognize, I saw him sitting in the back there. Mr. McMullen, been a West End resident for 20 years, 28 years. He too has been serving on the LDFA board since 2002, and he's doing a great job, and we'd be proud to have him continue serving the city of Westland.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Mr. McMullen?
New business item 6, confirmation of reappointment of Scott Catalo to the Tax Increment Finance Authority Economic Development Corporation for a 4-year term with the term to expire January 22, 2022.
Support. Motion by Councilman Hersberg, supported by Councilman Landau. Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Scott Catalo is in the audience here with us tonight. He's a longtime West End resident. He served on the Tifa EDC board since 2012, and he also serves on the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, and he has served since 2010. Mr. Catalo is a professional. He's got extensive experience as an architect, designer, and illustrator. He's the principal architect at Detroit-based Knorr Associates and Engineers, and he's in the audience tonight, too.
Is there any discussion from the council? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Scott?
New business item 7, confirmation of appointment of Tim Gilbert to the Tax Increment Finance Authority Economic Development Corporation for a 4-year term with a term to expire February 5, 2022.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Landau. Mayor?
Thank you, Council. This is our last appointment of the evening. Mr. Gilbert, who is here with us tonight, he's a Westland resident. He's a small business owner in the city of Westland. We recently did a ribbon cutting for his Coda Group. He's on Ford Road. It might seem a little odd that he's on Ford Road going in Tifa, but that stretch where his business is in is actually part of the Tifa Group, or Tifa boundaries. He's a former U.S. Marine, and he served on the Detroit Police Department, and he's one of only 4 board-certified criminal defense investigators in the state of Michigan. Mr. Gilbert's with us tonight.
Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. Mr. Gilbert?
New business item 8, approval of voucher.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Hart. Is there support? Support by Councilman Landau. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any dissent? Any dissent? Hearing no dissent, motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to citizens' comments or requests. Citizens will be recognized at the end of the meeting, immediately following the agenda item approval of vouchers. Citizens are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. All citizens wishing to speak will be heard. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on? Yes?
Thank you, City Council, Mayor, everyone here. And I, of course, had to get up with my relay shirt on. It seemed almost only fitting. And I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much for the opportunity to have our event in this great community that I love so much and has done so much for the event itself. And just wanted to, we'll be here to remind everybody here and there, but I just wanted to say thank you for sure. We have our kickoff on February 15th at the City Hall. It starts at 6:30, and we'd loved, everybody is welcome, and it is a free event, and you can learn all about the event. So I just wanted to say thank you once again.
Anyone on my right? Yes, ma'am.
I need to reach someone about a problem I have with my garage that is in disrepair. I spoke to Mark Combs, responding to a letter received January 18th, and I'm not hearing back. And I have 30 days to address this problem, but I need to speak to someone because I don't have the funds to tear down the garage or to repair it. And nobody's calling me back. I'm supposed to be hearing from a Chris Sparra, I think his last name is. So how can I follow through to have somebody speak to me?
Mayor?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, ma'am. If you want to, before you leave, you can just, my deputy mayor's sitting right here.
Perfect.
We'll get your information and we'll get
Thank
you
you, sir.
squared away first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
sir.
Anyone on my left? Don? Oh, it's got a group. Dan?
Good evening. My name's Dan Stachow, and I'm with the
Heather
Wayne.
Robertson Mitchell.
We're with the Wayne Westland Veterans Parade Committee, and we do appreciate the change of the parade route to its original format. It's going to be a lot better viewing for citizens, anybody else that comes out to see, and folks from the surrounding areas. So just want to pass the kudos on to everybody in the city, Mayor Wild, President Gadabout, City Council, support we get from the police and fire department, all is welcomed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone on my right? Anyone on my left? Mr. Warren?
Good evening to the council. I just want to, begin to report that the Community Block Grant Citizens Council Advisory Committee will be starting up later this month. Also, over this past period in regards to the Citizens Advisory Committee, the leadership of the Southeast Westland Homeowners Association sent the administration some erroneous and dubious information so that they could remove the president, who was myself, from that office. They violated the bylaws and the intent because council here has oversight in regard to those bylaws. So what I'm saying here is this, is that for any organization who represents Friendship Center, they have a responsibility to follow those guidelines to the letter and not to provide erroneous and deceitful information to the leadership so that the leadership would act. The leadership did act. In other words, the administration did act. They sent a letter down. And the leadership of the Southeast Homeowners Association, the executive board, which Mrs. Green is a part of, started to move to remove me. But first, in order to remove anyone from that leadership, they have to be given 30 days' notice, which was never given. And it is the membership's responsibility to elect that leadership. The executive board took it upon themselves to provide erroneous information to the administration so that they could remove me. So what I will do now, I'm still the president of the advisory committee. We will review those bylaws and make recommendations to council so council can look those over and either approve or disapprove of them. So I just want to make to the administration, just when things like this come to you, beware, look over the bylaws and see if they pertain to these particular groups and then act on them, and not just basically act on them just because a letter was sent erroneously to you. Thank you.
Anyone on my right? Mrs. McKinney.
And that coming from somebody that can't follow the bylaws of the Democratic Club. On this, I asked you a question on the, where is it? Item number J. And you didn't tell me what they do. That's what I wanted to know. What kind of, they do good things, but for whom? I think people like to know, and I think that should be answered. Another thing, I heard recently that the Wayne Westland School Board is thinking of not having their adult education, the GED testing, and that affects the city. And I think that is very important to keep that going. I'm a product of a night school. I wouldn't have gotten the job I had if I had not gone back to night school. I graduated with my class when my son was 6 months old. In the 60s, that was unheard of. I think we really, really need it. That's it.
Anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Anyone else in the audience? We'll close citizens' comments and move on to comments from the administration. Mayor?
Thank you. I've only got a couple tonight, but I'll start off with the question on item J, Spectrum Human Services. They're a Westland-based nonprofit. They're on Joy Road. They do a lot of different social services. I know they've done a lot of work with the Detroit Wayne County Mental Health Authority and counseling and substance abuse. So they've got a whole litany of social services they deliver. Council, thank you tonight for, I know it took a little bit of time to get through those appointments on the boards and commissions. I appreciate that as we do a little cleanup on the boards. My office will also be sharing with you very shortly other openings on the boards and commissions too. And we'll make those available on the city's website and Facebook page as we continue to encourage more and more residents to take an active role in their community. So we'll share those openings with you, and we'll encourage you to help us find some qualified individuals. Just a couple real quick things. The master plan is continuing to move forward, and the City of Westland invites all Westland residents to discuss the City of Westland's master plan. There'll be a public meeting. It's an update on February 26th. It'll be right here at City Hall. It starts at 6:30, and we're getting closer to the end of the process. It's something that we started back in the beginning of the budget year. So this will be a good chance for the public to come out and see an update on the work that's been done, and there's still opportunity to participate in the final document. And if you want more information on the city's master plan update, you can find that on the City of Westland's website, right on the homepage. Council, I want to report that we have filled the open position of the Westland Human Resources Director. We've done an exhaustive research on that. The new director will be at the next City Council meeting on February 20th. Her name is Stephanie Field. She was born and raised in Garden City, and she has a long career in human resources. It actually began in the Garden City Public High Schools. And she's just finishing up a tenure with Ann Arbor Public Schools, so she'll be retiring from Ann Arbor Public Schools and coming to work with us with just a vast knowledge of human resources and employee relations. She has direct experience in collective bargaining agreements, union negotiations, and all facets of labor and employee relations. So I think she's going to be a great addition to our staff here in the City of Westland. And it was nice tonight to see the promotion of Officer David Skeens from the Westland Police Department to Sergeant. He's done a great job since he's hired on the City of Westland, and he'll continue to do good things in that new role. And to make this possible, it was because of an opening from Sergeant Ron Merrill, who retired after a 22-year stint with the Westland Police Department, and Ron did a great job, so his leadership's going to be missed. But for those of you that weren't here, WLND taped that, and it'll be showed on cable over the next couple weeks. Thank you.
Anything from the city attorney's office?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Councilman Johnson?
Nothing this evening.
Councilman Landau?
Thank you, President Godbout. I also want to congratulate Officer Skeens for his very well-deserved promotion to sergeant, and thank Sergeant Ron Merrill for his 22 years of dedicated service to our community. The Youth Assistance Dinner was a great success. I attended it along with a few of my colleagues a few weeks back. Want to give a congratulations to all the award recipients and thank Paul Motz and the staff at the Youth Assistance program for putting on a great awards dinner, and listening to some of the stories were very inspiring, and seeing some young people that turned their lives around was very encouraging. And I want to congratulate all the appointed members tonight, Mrs. Murray, Mr. Cabdillo, Mr. Farkazian, Mr. McMullen, Mr. Catallo, Mr. Gilbert, and Mr. Curry, who is our longest-serving member, so I appreciate that. Someone who's came up through the boards and commissions, I appreciate all that serve on the boards. And I want to thank the mayor's office as well for reading the resumes of some of these talented appointees. That was very nice. And lastly, I just want to promote our coffee hour, which I believe Councilman Herzberg is going to mention, February 10th, and I'll let him talk about the location. Thank you very much.
Councilman Hammonds?
Too would like to thank and congratulate everyone out there that got appointed and reappointed to a board tonight. We appreciate your service, and again, thank you. If you ever need anything from myself, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I also want to thank our Parks Rec Director, Brian Harnos, for bringing these, or actually working with the YMCA to bring these two new programs to the city of Westland. One program here that we haven't had for a long time has been basketball, so I think it's going to be great for the young kids to be able to get into a basketball program and get some experience. And the soccer program that we have here in Westland, this is going to be a great feeder program to get young kids involved as well, so I want to thank him. And that's it for me tonight. Thank you.
Councilwoman Green?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to start by congratulating the children and thanking them for coming in and saying the pledge tonight. Also, congratulations to our new sergeant, and also much well wishes to the sergeant who recently retired. I would like to take a moment and just briefly congratulate the people who were appointed tonight. We look forward to your service, and we definitely have a need for people who care about our city to continue to work towards improvement, so thank you. As it relates to appointments or being on the commission, I just wanted to add that I too, as a new councilwoman, am waiting for the opportunity to serve on a city commission, on an exterior commission. And I would not be doing my job by, if I don't keep my constituents informed in terms of my fight to make a change here in Westland and stand up for residents. I have been denied the opportunity to sit on many of the commissions that other council people have expressed a desire or have been appointed to after I made the request. I had a chance to meet with Council President right after swearing in. I was told by him that I was the very first council person to ask about commission appointment and that no one else had inquired. I was then informed that council members could not sit on commissions. And after learning that one of my colleagues was appointed to the Nankin Transit Commission, I inquired further. And after being denied that opportunity, it has been as far as me having to contact our city attorney to get true information, at which time I did learn that council members are able to sit on certain commissions. And I was encouraged to reach out to the mayor for the commissions that council can sit on. And after having reached out to the mayor to inquire about the ability to also sit on commissions and represent the city as a City of Westland representative, I was told that it was preferred that I take a year off, or not year off, I'm sorry, my first year to learn without being placed on a commission. And I was also refused that opportunity. So at this particular point, I wanted to let the people who voted for me know that I am working to try and make a change here in the city. I have over 18 years professional business experience, and my expertise is turning around cities that are failing, especially as it relates to budgets. And so when the communication from me in terms of the lack of information that we're receiving about budgets comes up, it is due to my knowledge in terms of how these processes should work and the information that we should receive to make smart business decisions. We have police in our city that are starting at $35,000 a year, firemen who are being overworked because we can't pay them enough to make it attractive for people to want to remain in Westland. But we are maxing out our budget on the opposite side, whereas it relates to operational payroll. The meeting that we just had last week with Planet Moran, one of the recommendations that they made was to take a sharp look at the payroll decisions that we are making. And I will state that although the information, it is being stated tonight that the information was provided at the budget meeting last week, in fact, we reviewed a presentation by the budget, the CFO, Steve Smith, and the presentation he provided to us during that meeting was not provided to council. And my assertion during that meeting was that it was improper to schedule a meeting 2 weeks prior and not give us the information needed to make these decisions. And the very next day, they sent us a copy of the presentation that we did not get, even though that meeting had been on the books for 2 weeks. And so I am not here to work against anyone. As an entire board, we are either going to win together or we are going to fail together. But I will not come in as a new council person and blindly make decisions that I know can have an adverse effect on our city if we do not have the information necessary to make these decisions. And so I would also like to state that currently I am actually waiting on a Freedom of Information Act request from the city of Westland to learn the history of council people that have been allowed on commissions, because I have not been allowed to sit on a commission. I was encouraged to, again, take the first year and just learn. I was also encouraged to sit in on meetings with the kids as a guest with no vote or authority within the city as a direct representative, but a liaison. And I was also requested to go in an area where I'm preferred to be versus some of the areas where I know I can make the biggest impact. And so again, I want the people who voted for me, who are waiting for a difference, who want decisions being made regardless of who the person who's in control. I'm going to make them, but I want you to know that I am working for you, and I look forward to continuing to work with these gentlemen. And I am not here to work against anyone. And I look forward to developing relationships that will allow us to all get on the same page and be treated fairly and equally. As it relates to Mr. Warren's comment, and I'm only addressing this because he mentioned me by name, or I would not address that, but I'm compelled to just clarify a couple of things because I am an executive board member within the Southeast Homeowners Association. And just to give you an idea of the age range of the Southeast Homeowners Association the entire committee, the average ages is between 70 and 80. So this is a group of African Americans in the historical part of Westland between the ages of 70 and 80. I had a meeting with Joanne Campbell, who runs the CBDG program. What Joanne stated to me, which was then informed to the executive committee or the board, was that each committee within Westland who qualifies for those funds can select a representative. That's Norwayne, that's Southeast Homeowners Association, is every community that is eligible for those funds can select a person from their community. What she stated was Arthur Warren was the person for that particular area of Westland. Arthur Warren is on multiple boards within the city of Westland. 4, 5, 6 different seats that he holds here in the city, and he does a lot of work with anything carpentry related and repairs. And so it was the decision of the executive committee to appoint or allow someone else to step up and get involved as a representative to speak on behalf of funds that that part of Westland will receive. Arthur Warren, and that was due to the fact that, again, these people are absolutely senior citizens. The behavior and the comments in those meetings on the part of the people who are representing the community is anything from profanity, yelling, very abusive, and bullyish. So the community decided to consider another representative. And there will be another meeting before that decision is made. And I was not present at that meeting when that discussion occurred. And so I just wanted to clear that up, because I'm not here to move anybody out of a seat that they feel that they should have. But per Joanne Campbell, every community has the right to select their own representative, and it was decided that they would like somebody else. So that final decision is yet to be made, and no letters were sent requesting that. That was all a verbal communication. I would like to let residents know that I will be getting to have my own meetings as councilwoman, and you can find more information about that. I have a Facebook page, Tasha Green, Councilwoman Tasha Green on Facebook. I'll be providing information in terms of the meetings that I will have. One thing that I promise people who voted for me, and even those who don't, I'm going to be very transparent. And as a leader, I'm going to do my best to be as next to perfect as I can, but I'm not always going to get it right, just like nobody up here is always going to get it right. But one thing that you will get from me is honesty. And so I thank you for that. I thank you for your support, and I thank you for allowing me to represent you, and I'm going to try and do that to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Councilman Hart.
Hi. Congratulations to all the appointed board and committee members. Volunteer service and lending your talents are what's crucial to our city. So again, I thank you for all of your willingness to step up, volunteer your time, and volunteer your talents. Happy Dan Stachow, excuse me. Thanks for going ahead and putting things together for the Memorial Day Parade. As a veteran, it always means a lot to me to see that, so I look forward to volunteering any way I can with your organization again to make sure it works. I remember a couple years ago at a similar parade, I had the chance to walk side by side with the Medal of Honor recipient, and it's because of a parade like that that I had that opportunity, so I'll always hold that dear to me. Thanks to Erskine. First of all, congratulations to the Norway Boxing Gym for their little nod today so that you guys can get your charitable gaming license. He's not here today. I don't see him. I think he did finally leave. But he does do a tremendous amount of work down there for us, and he runs a great program. If you ever get an opportunity to go by, talk to him, and he's salt of the earth. He's one of the best people I think we could ever have in the city. And to Miriam, thanks for taking the lead again on another Relay for Life. It's really important, all the work that the Relay team does every year. The American Cancer Society, for those of you who do not know, my wife Linda came down with breast cancer at 33 years of age in perfect health. Because of all the work that the ACS has been doing for years and years, Linda was actually able to get some new cutting-edge research, and new medicines were available for her at that time, and she's in full remission and been there for the past 8 years. So it means a lot, so I go out to every single one, and I encourage you guys to go by and support the cause. With that, thanks again for everybody coming out today, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Councilman Hersberg.
Thanks. I'll start by reiterating a couple of things over the meeting. It is the end of winter. It is pothole season. The city gets a lot of calls about potholes on county roads and state roads, so you got to call the county. You can talk to a live person, so if you didn't get that number earlier, it's 844-929-6311. And if you're not sure which roads are county roads or state roads, you can go on the city website. There's all kinds of maps and stuff for you to look at and check that out, or you can get a hold of one of the council members too. We're happy to pass on those complaints. Buddy Up is coming up again, and just a reminder, you can sign up online, and it's $30 for the 8-week program. I want to congratulate all the new appointments and reappointments. I've met Scott Cataldo a couple of times and seen him at a lot of city events. Most city events that I'm at, he's there. And then I'd like to mention Tim Gilbert as well. He was a candidate for council last year, and usually after everything goes sideways with the election, some of the candidates kind of don't show up again. But Gilbert's somebody who's obviously been here at all the council meetings since the election and still wants to be involved, so congratulations. Councilman Londo mentioned coffee hour. We're going to be having another coffee hour February 10th at noon. That's Saturday the 10th at noon, and we're going to do it at the Mangia Banquet Room. The address there is 38413 Joy Road. If you have questions, you can contact Councilman Londo or myself. And I think it's just the two of us so far that have wanted to participate in the February council meeting, so if there's a third council member that wants to come in, you're welcome to do so. We can have 3 there. In regards to the Wayne Westland Veterans Parade, it was suggested by the police chief to change the route. I'm personally glad that we did not change the route. They wanted to do the route down Marquette, down Carlson, for a few different reasons, but I think just the traditional way is the best way to do it. You know, I think it brings a lot of people to the businesses there on Ford Road, and it's just good for the community. I think the route would have been shorter as well if we would have started at John Glenn. In regards to Councilwoman Green's FOIA request, she requested a couple of different things, but among that is the current list of all members of all the boards and commissions. And you know, I'd like to see a copy of that too. I don't know how she asked for it, or if she filled out a FOIA, but at least for the current ones, if that could be sent to the entire council. That's it for me. Thank you.
I'd like to start by thanking Dominic, Carter, and Annabelle, the 4th grade students from Hicks Elementary, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I, too, would like to congratulate and thank all of those that were appointed or reappointed this evening for the various boards and commissions. You know, we can't operate a lot of these commissions and boards without volunteers that give their time to sit on them, and it's truly appreciated. And in some cases, they're thankless jobs, particularly when you're sitting on a board of review or one of those other boards. So again, thanks to all that continue to serve, and for those newly appointed people, and welcome aboard, and I wish you the best of luck. And that's all I have this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?